been pretty brutal, though. Gervonta has him trapped in the corner. 1:30 left in the 8th round. Gervonta knocks him out cold. Oh, my God. Out. It's over. It's over. It's over. Oh, the backflip. It's chaos. Oh, my God. What the? Welcome, fight fans, to my channel. This is Johnny, and today we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning Gervonta Davis's 8th round knockout of Frank Martin. Guys, it's been a crazy 24 hours in the boxing world. We've already stopped by Puerto Rico. We talked about what happened in the Liam Pero Subriel Matias fight. Those of you who are unaware, Liam Pero and new, the IBF 140-pound champion, Australia, stand up. Now in Las Vegas, the business we're going to talk about today are the stats that went behind the scenes to get Tank's hand raised and set up that beautiful combination knockout. On first glance, we were live streaming it on the channel here. I thought it was a one-punch knockout, but if you look closely, Tank actually lands an uppercut first, and Frank was pretty much out on the ropes, and then Tank finished it off in brutal, spectacular fashion. Just when you thought you were going to doubt Tank, he goes and does that. He moves his record to 30-0 with 28 knockouts. Guys, we were live streaming it yesterday. We watched the fight. You just saw my reaction as it happened. And I got to say, I had Frank Martin winning the first round. I had Frank Martin winning the second and third rounds. The fourth round was close. It could have gone either way. But you started to see the energy and the momentum tilt in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. And everybody who was watching could see it. It wasn't necessarily Tank was pouring it on with output. It was just that pressure. Anybody who watches Tank Davis would be ill-advised not to talk about his pace, pressure, and his cardio. We love to talk about that power. Look at his record. Look how he finishes his business. But what he does with his lead foot and how he pressures his opponent. Frank Martin had a great game plan. He was in great shape early. He was winning the early rounds. His output was there. His athleticism was there. I was loving his footwork. He was very active, but somewhere around round 4 or 5, he started getting too comfortable sitting on the ropes. He started standing too long in front of Tank Davis, and we know you can't do that. And I don't want to say that we saw the end coming, but you kind of saw the end coming. If you hear in my video that as I was live streaming, I was talking about right before he even got knocked out. I said, he can't stand in the corner like that. And a few seconds later, Tank delivered the devastating blows to get Frank Martin out of there. It's been pretty brutal, though. Gervonta has him trapped in the corner. 1:30 left in the 8th round. Gervonta knocks him out cold. One punch. Holy shit. Oh my God. One punch out. It's over. It's over. It's over. Oh, the backflip. It's chaos. Oh my God. What the fuck? Just like that, dude. Tank Davis is special. Tank Davis is that dude. Oh, and him and EJ give each other love. In this video, we're going to go over the statistics. We're going to talk about the power shots, the jabs, and the overall punch output, and break it down and help better tell the narrative of this outcome of this fight. We'll do total jabs first. Davis throws 77, lands 25 at a 33% clip. Frank Martin threw 150, landed 33 at a 22% clip. And 150 jabs from Frank Martin's perspective is the story of his game plan. He started landing more than he was missing early in the fight. He was going to the body, he was going up top. And you can see evidence in this by the bruising on Tank Davis. The announcers were talking about it. Somewhere around the 2nd or 3rd round, some of Frank's punches were coming through, and he was looking sharp. His punches were looking clean, and he looked like he belonged early on. In every round, Frank Martin had double digits jabs thrown. He just wasn't landing as much as he was throwing. Tank wasn't throwing his jab too much, and he was landing a little bit more higher efficacy than Frank Martin. As Frank Martin's jab became less effective, he had to take more risks, and his footwork wasn't as active. His power shots tell a totally different story. Let's look at the difference between Tank and Frank's power output. Overall, Tank throws 101 power shots, landing 54 at a 54% clip. Frank Martin throws 120, landing 48 at a 40% clip. So Tank throws less, lands more, was more accurate, but whenever you have a fighter pressuring, it wasn't like Frank Martin was putting Tank on his back foot. We've yet to see Tank defeated, but I'm gonna make a prediction. If there is somebody out there that is good enough to take Tank Davis's O, I think that fighter is gonna have to put Tank Davis on his back foot, gonna make him retreat. Because if you have a pressure fighter like Tank Davis, you have to make him backpedal. We have yet to see him do that. Every flurry that he threw on Frank was backing up and his back was against the ropes. And as those mid rounds were turning into 6, 7, and 8, and the 8th one he got him out of there, Gervonta was sitting on everything. And Frank was just standing in front of him and he almost looked like a deer in the headlights, and it was only a matter of time. Now let's take a closer look at the total punch output for the whole fight. Guys, the whole fight, Tank Davis throws 178 and lands 79 at a 44% clip. Frank Martin throws 270, lands 81 at a 30% clip. These stats are a little bit misconstrued because they were even up as the fight got later and later, but when you look at the total output early, I'll read you the first 3 rounds of the total punches to show you how much ahead Frank Martin was. This isn't unnormal for a Tank Davis fight. Tank Davis generally starts a bit slow and some of the early rounds go to his opponent. In the first round, total punches, Tank throws 16, Frank Martin throws 41. Second round, Tank throws 13, Frank Martin throws 42. Third round, Tank Davis throws 19, Frank throws 29. And the round that really started swinging it, rounds 4, 5, and 6. Round 4, Tank Davis 24, Martin 37. Round 5, Tank 27, Martin 36. Round 6, Tank 28, Martin 34. And round 7, Tank 37, Martin 26. And round 8 was the round that he got him out of there. And you started seeing the volume increase bit by bit. And that's kind of what Tank does. He's a methodical early on, but his footwork is always there. His footwork is masterful. We don't talk about that enough. He gets Frank Martin out of there in the 8th round, brutal fashion. One of the first things he does is his signature backflip. And then, interestingly enough, we saw during fight week, him and Errol Spence were going at it. They had the very public spat back and forth, telling each other to shut up. But as soon as he lands the backflip, he goes into the crowd and gives EJ a hug. And it looks all in all is forgiven. You kind of thought that was going to happen. After the post-fight interviews, we go to Twitter, and obviously, guess who mentions Tank's name? Who wants the fight? Shakur Stevenson. So my question to you, there are a lot of fights to be made for Tank Davis. We'll stick with just the champions at 135. Some of the big names that people were putting next to Tank Davis next are Vasily Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, and Ryan Garcia. Garcia was also at the fight. He was also ringside congratulating Tank. At 135 pounds, the fight I want to see is Lomachenko. And most of you guys will say it's a few years too late. I'd rather be late than never. I want to see Vasily versus Tank. Let me know, who do you want to see? Do you want to see Tank rematch Ryan? Do you want to see Tank versus Core? Or do you want to see Tank versus Loma? Or if there's someone else I didn't mention, let me know their name in the comment section below.